Hello friends, I don't want to alarm anyone, but this is the most prepared I've been for a video in a long time. So buckle in. Today I'm going to watch a video from 10 years ago. We're going to revisit a favourites from 2015. I'm going to put on some of the makeup that it's exactly the same makeup, don't tell anyone. Some of the makeup that I still have from this video, and I'm going to kind of switch out some other things that I don't really feel like fits anymore. But I thought it might be interesting to revisit. It's a dream, it's a memory. It's 2015. I really would recommend, and these are things that have made it into my everyday routine. So number one, I'm going to talk about brushes as well. Number one, Estee Lauder Double Wear. I was wearing the Double Wear Light, absolutely loved it, and they didn't have it when I went to repurchase, so I went and got the Double Wear Original. Just pause there for a second. Look at those eyebrows. I have spoken recently about my potential want to remove the microblading because it's pink. It's not great. It's the one thing that I've had done and it's not good. It's faded. It's not good. However, I did say to someone, I remember what my eyebrows looked like before. I thought I did. And I think that the terrible pink faded microblading actually might look better than what I have. And watching this, yes, I'm going to leave them. I think I'm actually using less of this than the light one. Really enjoying it. It is Bone, that's the colour that I've got, 1W1 Bone, and I just apply it with my fingers. What do we call this? Two shakes of an Estee Lauder Double Wear bottle. I apply it with my fingers because I just find that it gives the most natural finish. It is slightly more blendable that way, although my hands are super cold, so that's not necessarily even true today. But so far, I'm preferring to apply this with my hands, whereas the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, wow, I have something on my head that's got like a bruise. Must be like a spot or something. The Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, as I was saying, is something that I prefer to apply with a brush or with a beauty blender, preferably, because there's something kind of tacky about it. This is like a totally different formula. Which I wasn't expecting. I just thought this was going to be so heavy, and obviously your experience of this might be totally different to mine, but I think providing I kind of blend it out everywhere, I'm really liking it, and it lasts a long time, and the oil control is better than the original Double Wear. It's still not going to keep you matte all day, but the oil control is better. I loved that Double Wear for the longest time. I was such a big fan. And I actually kind of half thought, do I still have a bottle of Double Wear in my stash? I thought when I went through my big declutter, which I'll link the series below, last year, where I got rid of like 80% of what I had, I thought, I'm sure I didn't see it, and I didn't, and I don't know how long it's been, but I am tempted to try it again. The reason that I don't have it right now, I'd kind of fallen back in love with my Colour Stay, but they keep changing the formula. I don't have that anymore either. I am tempted to go and get a little sample of Double Wear because it was so good. It was so thin, but it lasted really well. And I think even as my skin has aged, it still may like that formula. So I may try that again. But the closest in terms of like what I have been really enjoying recently is the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturiser. I talked about this a lot last year. This is in the shade Terra Nerve. The concealer I'm going to use is the Maybelline Erase. Funnily enough, I do not have this concealer. I'm like, so little left of this. I'm gonna buy another one soon. It might be what I end up, I can't unscrew this. What? Oh, that's really annoying. I'm gonna end up having to like take a knife to jimmy that off. That is annoying because I know there's lots of product inside here. Here we go. I think I need to leave it like on its side or something. Where was I even going with this? I know. The concealer that she's talking about, I literally yesterday bagged that up to send to Recycle Me. You know, the free, look fantastic, you know, send things off and get money back. I'm going to do a full video, like a start to finish just on that, so that I can refer you to a simplified, here's what you do from start to finish, and then like a haul of the products I got at the end, like fully giving you full start to finish of the entire process, because I think some of you don't believe me. And yesterday I even added in face mask, like sheet mask packets. So in theory, I get £1 back for every single sheet mask packet, and I'll tell you what it included. They took
I was going to find one to show you, but I've bagged it up. They took my deep heat things, my deep freeze things that I love so much. They used those as well. Because if you look on the back, it's not easy to recycle, and that's the whole point. They're taking products that are not easily recyclable. Anyway, back to her. Let's talk about this Maybelline concealer, which I loved so much. I had it in so many different shades. I had it in the brightener shade. I had it in the yellow shade. Loved it. And honestly, I'm not sure why I fell out of love with it, but by the time I recycled those tubes, they were well past their best. So again, maybe something to revisit.
I think this is like the anti-age or something, I don't know. Put a little under my eyes. A little on this spot that's appeared from nowhere. On my nose. I have like a spot on my nose there. Worst thing ever. I do actually have a brightening one of that concealer that I really like. But I don't think we can get it in the UK. It's a very, very pale pink colour. Really, really nice. But this is the most blendable concealer I've ever used. It's not necessarily the most blendable. No, it is. It is. It's the most blendable that has coverage. Most of them that I've tried that blend as nicely as this just kind of aren't anything. They're very, very thin and they don't do anything. So it's either that or they're very, very thick and they'll sit in the creases in my eyes and all the fine lines and all that jazz, which you obviously don't want. The powder I'm going to use is the MAC Blot Powder. MAC Blotting Powder. This is definitely a different one than I'm using there, and it is very almost gone. I've got another one that's much fuller than this, and I don't know where it is. It can only be in a handbag. Do you know, next week, I think, just to get me to actually do it, I'm going to pull down all my handbags and we're going to go through them and I'm going to see what I find in them, because there's makeup. There's like, I've got several things that I've been looking for and they can only be in handbags. Like the Merit Minimalist I can't find. I can't find the Hourglass lipstick thing that I bought last year that cost a fortune. I have to find these things while they're still good. So I may do that. But I still agree with all of the things she said back then. This is a really nice kind of fine powder. It's a fine powder. That's an ongoing joke for us because I've got a video of, I used to do when Milo was a baby, like monthly check-ins on I had a baby channel way back when. And I used to be like, this is Milo's 1 month check-in, what Milo's 2 month, what he's doing. And one of the times Ella did it. And she told everyone, this is how Milo's doing. And one of the things was that she said, he's a fine boy, he's a kind boy, he hasn't taken anything from anyone, and he was like 3 months old.
He's been a fine boy, he's been a careful boy, he's not touched anything. He hasn't cried for about yesterday. He has been crying a lot though.
This is a fine powder. Now you're in on the joke. It's a very, very thin, finely milled. I hate to say finely milled now because it feels like such a buzzword of the moment. It's like pigmented. We all used to say pigmented. Oh, it's such a finely milled powder. And it is, but it just, makes me feel like a twat now when I say it. But it is. It's not cakey is basically what that is to say. It's very flattering and you can kind of build it up and it doesn't feel ever like, oh my God, that's a lot. And I think that is because it is a blotting powder. It's supposed to be used on oily skin and so it needs to be fine. But it's a great powder for on the go. Now I don't actually take it on the go now because I've hit pan, so I think it's going to shatter at some point. I do just set my makeup with it occasionally. It's not something I always reach for. The one from this, you can tell I've also hit pan on. This is, what was this called? I'm not sure. Happy Boost, I think it might have been called. It says 10 hours matte finish and boosted radiance. It was from Bourjois. I think it might have been called Happy Booster. That's also really, really nice. The only thing with that is I think that it oxidizes on my skin and I get dark throughout the day, which is not ideal if you are oily. But that is very, very comparable in how it feels on the skin and the texture. But this is amazing for putting on in the middle of the day when you're super oily and you get to the bathroom and you're like, oh my God, and you have to top up. This is really, really good. Something else that I really like, but I'm kind of loath to recommend it now because I know a lot of people had bad experiences with it, is the Gosh Prime and Set powder. Oh my God, this powder. I remember doing a video. This is like not pre-Instagram. It Instagram. I'm gonna have to see if I can find it. But I was so excited about that powder. I might have done a full video on it actually, because I used to get so oily. And this was around the time that I was going to quite a lot of events in London. And so that was a really long day from Doncaster. I was like trying to be, you know, in with the blogging sphere. And yeah, I was trying to like, I kind of trying to fit in with a crowd that really was never mine. And so I used to be quite self-conscious about the fact that by the time I got to London, I felt like I was really shiny already. So when I found anything that would make me look matte, I was obsessed. I remember trying loads of different setting sprays before we went to eye mats, because eye mats must have been in the summer. And I was just, again, so self-conscious about the fact that I didn't want to look cakey, but I didn't want to look shiny. And so this was kind of like of that time. But I do remember this being absolutely incredible. You put it on either underneath or over the top of your makeup, and it truly left you super matte all day. But if you used it several days in a row, it left you really, really dry. Like, my skin texture was not good. I don't know what I'm going to say about this now. I don't know if at this point I had discovered that, but I stopped using it for that reason. RIP, because it was ahead of its time. I even tried milk of magnesium. Did you try that? It was like the liquid, and you put it on your skin. I don't know if you put it on your skin actually before makeup, or if you put it on as like a mask to try and get the oil out. I don't know. But yeah, what a crazy world. I put oil on my face on purpose now.
I really like this, but I wouldn't suggest you use it every day. It's something that definitely made my skin change. It made my skin feel and look quite dry. Not something that I could use on a regular basis. Just kind of like for a special occasion, if you're going to be out all day, or you know that it's going to be hot, or you're going to be sticky or oily or anything, and you want to avoid that, this is the only thing that's ever kept me truly matte. Next, brows. Now I'm going to give you two options here, because I kind of used two options. One of them is the Soap & Glory Archery Pencil, and that looks like this. That doesn't help you at all. I need a white background. How about that? It looks like this. It's got a pencil on one end. It's different to the one that's got the felt tip on the other end. I don't like that one. Either of the sides. I feel like even the pencil side of this is different. But it's got a pencil on one end, and then it's got a little spoolie on the other. I use the spoolie of this to brush through my brows, which is something I never thought I would do, because they really are a bit meh, aren't they? I've got like a lot of brow towards the top, and the underneath not so much, which tells me that that is through years of over plucking, because once upon a time when I was a kid, it was cool to have a line of eyebrow just there, and that's basically what I'm left with.
Watching this now is fascinating, because when I had my brows microbladed, if you saw like an up close of, can I get you up close? Let's see. Can you see up close on my brow? Most of the brow, because I've got nothing on them right now, that is coloured in on both sides is above. Also, don't you think that this side of my, like, I don't know if it's like naturally I just always like lift this brow and there's nothing I can do about it, but this eye always to me has felt like it's like, meh. And when I show you that eye versus that eye, you can see a difference, right? I know. We're obsessed with our own faces. No one else sees our faces the way we do. But watching her talk about this and say that the majority of the hair on the brow is on the top, and I would have filled in underneath, isn't that interesting? Because when I went to have these done, whoever did them way back when must have thought, well, I'll bring that up here to like lift the brow, when in reality, if I'd just been filling my brow in where it should naturally have been, then I should have just filled in underneath. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, I can't lie, I do like the shape of my brow, and it just takes a little bit of filling in to hide that pinkness. Whatever. But looking back, that is interesting. That is interesting to me. Also, I absolutely loved, I mean, this was the dawn of the like twist up pencil. This is, oh, funnily enough, this is precisely my brow pencil. Oh no, that's Soap & Glory. I always get Soap & Glory and Benefit mixed up. I don't have the Soap & Glory Archery pencil, but I do have this Precisely My Brow mini sample from Benefit that I'm really liking. It's also lasted ages. And I remember the one from MAC was just, it was magical, not because the texture was incredible or like the pencil was revolutionary, it was the tone. My hair was so white at this time. Obviously I've got pink in my hair in this video, but it was so white at this time. It was really hard to find a blonde pencil that wasn't really warm. And Fling from MAC was such a taupey, kind of very neutral, not cool, not grey, but a very neutral shade. That was amazing. I went through so many of those, repurchased and repurchased and repurchased. I probably still have some carcasses of those somewhere because you used to be able to back to MAC them. I don't think you can do it anymore, but I left it too long. And if I'd taken 5 of them, which I definitely have somewhere, I could have had a free lipstick. I did that many times with old MAC products.
I think this is called Fling, and this is from MAC. By far the best blonde colour that I've ever found. I'm actually considering trying grey. So if anyone can recommend a grey brow pencil, I would love to know what you use, because I'm thinking that with an ash, very, very blonde hair, grey might look good. But colour aside, the texture of this is also so, so nice. It's not waxy at all. If you don't like waxy eyebrow pencils, this is amazing. But it's also, it's so difficult to explain brow products because everyone wants something different. But for me, I want it to be dry, but I want it to be pigmented, but I don't want it to be so pigmented that I can go overboard with it. I don't know if it's the colour of this that means I can kind of apply it lightly or apply it dark and it's not too bad, it's not too bold for me. But I love everything about it. It can crumble a little bit, which is annoying. These twisty pencils, if you drop them, they can break in the middle, and then when you twist them up, they fall out, which is really irritating, because I think this is around, I say like 14 or 16 pounds.
Get ready to be shocked, because I was shocked to my core. It has a spoolie on the end now. It didn't used to have, but seriously, £24? £24!
The pencil on the end of the Soap and Glory one is nice. It's a little bit too waxy. It's not got quite as much pigmentation. It's not quite as soft. And so it's a bit harder to get the colour off, but it's also a really, really good colour for blondes. So if you are on a budget, I would recommend you try this one, especially if your brows aren't as sparse as mine, because I kind of have to create them from nothing. Whereas if you just need a little bit of filling in and taming, then you'll probably really like this one. The colour on that is very good. This is the quad that I put together from MAC. I have lots of MAC shadows, but when I went away most recently, I thought, right, I'm going to put my absolute favourites together, and these were they. They are Wedge, I think that's Tatar Tint, it's a warm brown, beautiful, Satin Taupe, and Naked Lunch.
I still have this little quad, but it's got 4 different shadows in it now. I still have the ones that I was talking about then, but I'm going to use these on my eyes today because these were the ones that obviously when I last put them together, I decided I liked the most. Tatar Tint is still in there. I think this is Naked Lunch, but I could be wrong. Woo! This is, yes, Naked Lunch still made the cut. I think this might be, I think Satin Taupe is kind of more grey than this. Woodwinked, that's more my shade now. And then I think that the last one is Espresso. It is. So what did I say? So I'm like, here you go. I'm talking to the person that I'm watching on the screen. Tatar Tint, Espresso, Naked Lunch, and Woodwinked. So that is what I'm going to put on my eyes right now while she continues.
I'm going to use this Sedona Lace 941. It's just a flat brush. It could be anywhere. It could be from anywhere, rather. I'm going to use that to put Naked Lunch all over. It's just like a sheen. It's not too shimmery at all, and you can kind of just put it everywhere because I'm not one for a big brow bone highlight at all. I'm going to go with Wedge, a matte colour, for my crease is the word. My alarm was going off upstairs, I think. I am running out of time. Yeah, so this, what was I even saying? I have no idea. I love Wedge for in my crease. I think I've gone overboard on that left eye. I used to wear this, gosh, what was it? I had, do you know, I think it was an Urban Decay colour. This brush is the base shadow brush from Makeup, no, I think I say Makeup Revolution, that's wrong. Real Techniques, still an R. Yeah, I think it was like a very, very matte, creamy almost just like foundation colour from Urban Decay. It's called ABC Gum. And I used to wear that all over my lid and then wedge in my crease. I feel like that is just gone too much. Then I'm going to use my Maybelline Colour Tattoo. I like to put a little bit of shadow underneath my eye, but it doesn't last, so I put something like this underneath and it tends to last a little bit longer.
So I am using this, which is an H&M Dauphine Truffle Colour Essence Eye Cream, which I've had for a million years. I feel like the light, it wasn't so bad when I started, but it's literally 10 o'clock in the morning and it is so dark. If I turn the lights off, let me just show you how dark it is. Hang on, it's on a button under the floor. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't that bad when we started. And it's just winter. I know someone the other day said that also I haven't done a shadow under my eyes in a million years. This feels wrong to do, but we're going with it. We're going with it. Someone the other day commented that I'm always complaining. She was, you know, nicely, just jokingly, that I'm always complaining about the weather. Like, I'm not happy when it's too hot. I'm not happy when it's too cold. Fact. The defining thing there, like the what's the word I'm looking for? Come on. Menopause brain. The something factor. Oh my God. The thing that is the same between the two things, you know what I'm saying? The common denominator is too much. Like, it's either too hot or it's too cold. And no, of course I don't like that. Why would I? Why would I want weather that is too anything? I just want it to be like perpetual spring or autumn, because it's not even like I'm inside. I can get warm. But the light, I will say the light in summer is better. I'm trying to use this as a mirror. This is not a mirror. I'm gonna then go over that smoky cream shadow with the espresso. I'm literally not going anywhere today at all. Lee is going to come home and be like, what is happening? The other day, I'd had like a couple of weeks of really feeling not great and looking like I felt not great. I picked up Nyla from school. I didn't even have makeup on, but I'd done my hair and I was wearing sunglasses. And I was dressed like actually in proper clothes, not just like cozy clothes. And he was like, who is this person that is picking me up from school? So God knows what he's going to say today. Mascara! The mascara is not high-end. I have never found a high-end mascara that I really felt was worth the money. So I hardly ever try them, because I tried a few back in the day and then decided that they weren't really worth the money. So this Maybelline Lash Sensational is my flavour of the moment. Absolutely love this. I feel like I should get together all the mascaras, because when I did my makeup collection the other week, I went through all my mascaras and was like, oh, I'd forgotten about this and I'd forgotten about that. I think I might just do a whole video of all the mascaras I've ever liked, because I think that I'm really picky when it comes to mascara. And if someone sends me a mascara to review, I'm like, Or if they'll send me like a list of products from a new line or from kind of a seasonal thing, and be like, oh, which would you like to try? And I would never choose the mascara, because I just think I'm gonna hate it. I'm so picky, and that's another reason that I don't like higher end mascaras, because I'm so picky. If I spend £5 or £6 on a mascara and I don't like it, I'm like, meh. If I spend £25 on a mascara, I'm gonna be pretty pissed off, and the chances of me not liking it are high. So I might make that video. Let me know if you would be interested in that video. But this is seriously lengthening. It also kind of gives you volume. I don't know how it does it, or what it does, or why we need to pull these faces. Right, I kind of feel like I need some kind of lip balm. I have a situation going on with some dryness. Oh, here, this'll do. Ooh. It's a Walgreens. Oh, it's sweet. It's a Walgreens lip balm I haven't tried yet, that I bought while we were in Las Vegas. I don't like that. It's very strong smelling of watermelon, which is not surprising, that's what it's supposed to smell like. But that is like, oh, it's sweet. I don't like it. I definitely need a lip balm too at the moment. I don't usually do a lip balm before I do lipstick, but so dry right now. So the whole thing of the mascara, I thought that for the longest time. I was like, absolutely not. I will never, ever buy an expensive mascara. I was sent the Lancome Lash Idol. I was actually sent like an entire wardrobe of mascaras from Lancome, and I don't know what it was. I don't know why. I didn't even open the rest of them. I gave them away to people. I decided to open this one, and that was years ago now, and I now have purchased it twice myself with my own money. It lasts a minimum of 6 months for me, and in terms of like cost per wear and how long I can actually make it stretch without it drying out, I felt like this was worth it, because by the time this was my favorite for a really long time. After this, it was probably a solid 5 years. I never even looked at another mascara. Lash Sensational was incredible. I tried it again not that long ago, just because I needed to know. Have I just been indoctrinated into thinking that this is so amazing? No, it is a lot better. By the end, I was using the Lash Sensational primer and the mascara. And so when it came to it, I was like, this makes sense. Financially, those two products versus this one product, this makes sense. But I really loved that for the longest time.
Oh, I haven't done cheeks yet. We'll do cheeks. This was a toss-up between this and a Burberry blush. Burberry blushes are insanely overpriced, like mad money. However, they're very, very nice. I think they're like £29. It's just insane. I wanted to mention them because if you were thinking of treating yourself to something really special, buying something for a friend, or asking for something, if you're kind of like the girl that has everything, then they are really, really nice. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to recommend anything else from Burberry Beauty, but the blushes are excellent. But what I really wanted to recommend is something that I wear at least 2 times a week, every week, and it's this. It's MAC Stereo Rose. I don't think I've ever used a blush as much as this, and I've had a lot of comments on videos because I will, as much as possible, try to list what I'm wearing in the information bar, and I get a lot of comments saying I knew it was going to be that because whenever I look in the information bar for what you're wearing, it's that.
I'm not following the right order. I got ahead of myself. I thought we were on to lips, but we're going to go blush first. So we've switched this up. The lip will come in a second. Stereo Rose, I still have it. I nearly put this in with my like makeup graveyard. I also still have the one from Burberry. If you saw my declutter of my blushes last year, I'm pretty sure I have that in my makeup graveyard. But this I kept because I wanted to see whether or not I could still get anywhere out of it. My problem with it is it's basically metallic. If I swatch it on the back of my hand, I don't know if that's gonna, in this terrible light, I don't know how apparent that's gonna be, but back in the day, I looked at this and was like, oh my God, it just gives me this incredible glow. Now, on my almost 40-year-old skin, I'm like, it is bringing out all of my pores, every line. There's one thing for something to be like, I love a highlight, I love a glow, but this you have to use so sparingly, because if you're too heavy-handed with it, it is legitimately like you've put, I mean, I can kind of see it even now. At the end, I'll show you this in proper light, as much proper light as I have available. But it really can go wrong. And so I did love this and I did use it a long time, but I do think that quite possibly my more mature skin, which I know people won't like that, but 10 years, your skin changes. It is not the most flattering, but I'm wearing it like from a distance and with like that's beautiful. Oh my God, what a glow, what a glow. But then when you get up close, not so glowy.
It's like a super glow, and this brush is the blush brush from Real Techniques. I actually bought this when I bought the blusher, when I bought Stereo Rose, I went and bought this from Boots because I didn't have anything with me and I had to apply it right then and there. And it's been a happy little relationship ever since.
So lip. I do not have all of the things that I mention here, but I do remember loving that East End Snob Rimmel lip liner for the longest time. And I do still have Faux. MAC Faux is, this is not it. This isn't it. MAC Faux, this one is MAC Faux, is really quite cool. And I don't think it really goes with me right now. Right, like then at that time, when I had the icy hair, it was fine. I did the like very, very pale pink. The eye that I've done in this video is like, it's all kind of informed by what my hair colour looked like at the time. What I'm going to use instead is I've got the NYX Suede Lip Liner in Brunch Me, and I'm going to use Kinda Sexy from MAC, which just to swatch them by the side, you can see the massive difference in tone. Like, that's just kind of more who I am now. This is very much who I was.
Exaggerate Rimmel lip liner in East End Snob, which I know you will have heard of. I'm going to fill in all of my lips with this. This is like, it's so gorgeous even by itself, but I think I would need a lip balm underneath. Just at the moment my lips are super dry. Okay, so that's the liner done. The lipstick is MAC Faux. And again, this is something that I've worn a lot in videos and I've had a lot of questions about. But lots of people asked me if I was going to buy one MAC lipstick, what would it be? This would be one of my top recommendations. A lot of people feel like they have to get their money's worth and so they want something they can wear every day. Like for example, the Estee Lauder Double Wear. When I originally bought the Double Wear Light, I didn't intend to wear it every day. I thought, like, if I would wear it every day, that's insane. I would never repurchase a £29 foundation if I was going to wear it every day. And in fairness, I don't wear makeup every day. We're probably talking 3 or 4 days a week. But I now would use that foundation almost exclusively, and I'd be happy to repurchase it. So you know what I mean? Like, perspective changes. I would rather spend money on something that I feel like I can't get at the drugstore, because there's so many amazing products that you can get from Boots and Superdrug now without spending a lot of money.
This is so funny for me to watch, because I'm recognising that this, even 10 years ago, so 5 years into my like YouTube journey, even 10 years ago, I was trying to get myself out of the budget beauty box. I was talking myself in circles, trying to justify why I was recommending. Like, this video was specifically non-budget beauty faves. Like, I wasn't like non-penned in faves. But I'm clearly trying to be like, well, you know, from this perspective, and I'm worried about the backlash of recommending something that is too expensive and saying that I would never repurchase a £29 foundation, or that I'd felt like that in the past. It's so interesting because I still feel like I say things like that now, and I haven't gotten away from that in 10 years. What a world, what a world. But all in all, you know, it's not the same makeup. Obviously, it's not the same makeup, but similar. And a lot of what I used then, I would still use now. For the most part, I would say that a lot of what I wouldn't use, it's because of the texture and the finish that I would want. At 39, I want my skin to look like skin. I want it to look healthy, luminous. I think that glow that you get from oil is not to be knocked out immediately. Whereas then I was like, get rid of it, make it look like a mask. And I definitely was led by the trends of YouTube, because I never was like a full face of makeup person, ever. And I feel like I threw myself into YouTube and just like changed my style to fit in with everyone else. And then steadily ever since then, I've been trying to eke it back to more realistically what I used to do. Because even when I was a teenager, I never did like a full face of makeup. Never. I mean, it just wasn't the thing, was it? It wasn't so much the trend. You did, you know, like pale makeup and dark eyeliner. You weren't contouring, that's for sure. But also, I really miss that filming setup. I was in front of a massive window and the light was incredible. There's no fake lights there. That is all daylight. And there's boxes of rubbish in the background of the video, which nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I am still that exact same person. Right, now let's go to the window. Like I said, the light is poor, so let's look past that. I'm going to zoom you in. I'm not super happy with like all around here. It's settled a little bit, but we're looking past that. I'm really looking for, can we see the texture? I don't think it's showing up quite so much. When I come to edit this, I might be like, oh yeah, you can totally see it. But I'm just not so much the heavy makeup wearer anymore. And then anything that exaggerates. I do remember being quite cross at someone who left a comment. This was quite a while ago now, maybe a year or two ago. I was trying to do some like cute little makeup reel videos, and I did something on the Fenty, what's it called, highlight, which I love. And I used the side of it that I never use because it's too frosty and I felt like it wasn't flattering. And I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to go with it like this. This is the trend, super highlight. And someone left a comment saying, it's like some trends are not for all ages. Basically saying I was too old to wear highlight like that. At that point, I was like, what, 37 or something? And I thought, how dare they, number one. But also, why are we living in this world that people tell us that you're too old to wear specific kinds of makeup? That's crazy. That said, I'm very, very conscious when I say things like, this is not super flattering now, because I don't want to tell you can't wear things. I'm wearing this right now. I'm just telling you the reason that I wouldn't wear this now in the same way that I wore it then is, that's the wrong way, I'm going to try and zoom you in, is because it does exaggerate my pores. Maybe you will be able to see it more in this light. But at the same time, it's so glowing. You know, it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off. Because, I mean, in this light, I love it. I love it. Maybe it always looked like that, and I just was never looking that closely. I don't know. But I do love this lip combination. Love. It's just more the warmth for me now. More the warmth. Right, anyway, let me know how you feel about this video. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. Trip down memory lane. I used to do something called a throwback favorites, and I would just pick that month of any previous year at random and look through what I had been liking and whether or not, like, kind of where are they now. And that's what this was inspired by. But maybe I'll do that more often if you enjoyed this. I don't know. I kind of picked 10 years because I thought it was significant, but we could go like 3 or 4 years and that might be more interesting because those products may still be in circulation. It might be a bit of a like, do you remember you loved this a year ago and then you never talked about it again? What's that about? That might be interesting. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And I will see you on Friday with a way more casual video that I think you'll still enjoy.